The first social network. How early humans created connection, before the rise of social media, before the internet, and even before written language, humans had a different kind of network. A network not built on likes, tweets, or hashtags, but on something far more profound, human connection. It was the first social network, and it laid the foundation for everything we know about society today. Picture this, the early days of Homo sapiens, tens of thousands of years ago. Early humans lived in small, scattered groups. The world was dangerous, unpredictable. Food was scarce, predators were always a threat, and survival depended on cooperation. It was a time when life was brutally uncertain. But in this struggle for survival, something extraordinary happened. Humans began to connect, not just for practical reasons, but for emotional and social ones too. At the core of this connection was something we often take for granted: social bonding. Humans were not the strongest, the fastest, or the most physically equipped species. But we had something that other animals lacked: a deep, intrinsic need for social interaction. From the very beginning, early humans understood the power of being part of a group. The strength of the group was its connection. Think about it. Early humans had to rely on each other for everything: food, safety, and even emotional support. It wasn't just about survival. It was about creating bonds. These bonds allowed them to share resources, protect each other from dangers, and raise children in a safer environment. Early human survival was less about individual achievement and more about the collective effort of the group. The individuals who could bond, communicate, and collaborate were the ones who thrived. But how did they build these connections? It wasn't through technology or tools, but through something more basic: communication. And it wasn't just about practical communication. Early humans likely used vocalizations, gestures, and facial expressions to convey emotions, share experiences, and build trust. This social communication laid the foundation for what we would later develop into complex language. The fascinating part is that this network wasn't just functional, it was deeply emotional. Early humans didn't just cooperate for survival, they cared for one another. They helped the sick, shared food with the hungry, and defended each other against predators. And this care, this compassion, was what made the network stronger. Over time, as social bonds deepened, the network grew larger and more complex. The ability to connect with others emotionally became a key part of human evolution. It wasn't enough to simply survive. To thrive, humans needed to form meaningful relationships. Fast forward to today, and the need for connection is still very much alive in us. We have traded the close-knit bands of early humans for global networks of friends, family, colleagues, and strangers. But the essence remains the same. Connection is at the core of what makes us human. Now, let's consider how this ancient social network evolved into the complex societies we live in today. The emergence of agriculture around 10,000 years ago marked a significant shift. As humans settled into permanent communities, their social networks expanded beyond the immediate family or small tribe. Towns grew into cities, and cities became civilizations. Yet, the core principle remained unchanged: connection and cooperation. What's remarkable is that, in many ways, the basic human need for connection hasn't changed. Even as our societies have become more technologically advanced, we may no longer depend on physical proximity for survival, but our emotional need to connect remains strong. In fact, in an age where we are constantly connected through digital platforms, it's easy to forget how critical face-to-face connection still is. It's those real, personal interactions, those bonds of trust, that continue to fuel our social networks, both in the ancient past and in our modern lives. Here's the kicker. Understanding this ancient social network can give us valuable insights into how we approach modern challenges. In a world where digital communication often takes precedence over in-person connection, we might be losing sight of the power of face-to-face interaction. We may be more connected than ever online, but are we as connected as we should be in real life? Are we building networks that are as emotionally rich, as meaningful, as the ones our ancestors relied on? The truth is, the basic principles of connection are timeless. It's not about technology, it's about understanding, trust, and compassion. These are the building blocks of any successful social network. And it's why, even in the digital age, our need to connect with others on a deeper level is as important as ever. So, as we move forward in this interconnected world, let's not forget where it all began. In small groups, around fires, sharing stories and forging bonds. Those first social networks weren't built on algorithms, they were built on humanity. And maybe, just maybe, the key to a better future lies in rediscovering those simple, authentic connections that have always made us human.